Hey there everybody, it's your buddy Choppadong, and I'm going to do a golf video today because it is Masters Week, PGA, first major of the year. Everybody gets excited for the Masters. It's almost like the Daytona 500 of golf. And if you follow golf, it's almost like the Daytona 500 every week because we've got lots of crash and burns, a lot of volatility, a lot of mixing and matching, and really and truly, that's just the game of golf. It's a volatile sport. Your goal is to get as many through the cut as you possibly can and hopefully drive some deep finishes, pair them up in the same lineup, and walk out with the nuts in your hand. It's just that simple, but it's nearly impossible to do. It drives us mad, but we like to watch golf 4 days a week, especially when we've got the Masters back in April, where it freaking belongs. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I'll walk you through a couple of the tools here at DFS Army and show you how I do it. I'm not perfect. I'm not a golf expert. In fact, I don't know very many that are. We've got two of them on hand at dfsarmy.com, though. Taco DFS and Josh DFS Up North are two of the best from the industry, constantly third-party rated as more accurate than the rest when it comes to projections and theory and success. So I follow their lead. It's just that simple. Come inside, take a look at us, every single sport. For golf, you can actually buy single sport pricing. You can buy by the week, you can buy by the month. Go into the pricing menu at dfsarmy.com, and when you do, unlock the coaching, become a VIP, and drop in that coupon code DFS Army. That saves you 10% off each and every month you become a member. Let's dive into a little bit of golf, eh? PGA Research Station under the PGA map here, and then Research Station. You can look at all the other stuff that you might want. There's just basically a couple of things. We've got any kind of tee times if you want to play a little morning, afternoon, a little weather scenario. I don't mess with that personally. A lot of people do. You've got your salaries, your sample sizes. You've got your aggregated win odds. What they open at, what are they at now, and how much has it changed? Simply stated, you're looking for guys that have a chance to flip and win, and you're looking for good prices in those guys that have a chance to win. Now, I'm not going to get too sciencey and sophisticated with this particular area, but I do like to look at guys that show positive drift. Guys that opened up at, say, 12-1 and moved to 11-1. Somebody in the green, somebody in the positive drift category. People Cameron Smith are people that I'm going to include a little bit extra into my lineups most of the time, because as the sharp bettors start slapping down their bets in the sports books, the books have to adjust their odds. The sharp bettors do the research for me. The sharp bettors tell me who is likely to win, place top 20, make the cut, whatever. Those are guys I want in my lineups. I trust the guys in the industry that the sports books are afraid of and adjust the line because of. Pretty simple. If I'm looking at implied odds, I don't pay a lot of attention to these sections. Projections, of course, I'll pay attention to them, but I'm looking more for value. Somebody like Jordan Spieth has a ton of value. We're projecting him to go very, very deep. Outside of last year, where he placed 46, top 20 all 5 or 6 years with a win, a couple of seconds, and a third. I mean, the dude just carves up Augusta. It's pretty simple. You don't need to overthink a lot of this stuff. Augusta is one of those places where course history absolutely matters. Obviously, the Masters is at the same tournament every single year. Putting is key. The players that play there often know the course. The players that have won there before get invited back every year regardless of their PGA Tour status until the day they die or they say they quit. I want guys that make natural fits, and I can look right here across the board at all the greens for the guys that typically do well. Just Dustin Johnson does well. Jon Rahm does well. Let me tell you, Jon Rahm is a underrated putter. That's the eyeball test. Look, golf is my favorite sport in real life, not my favorite DFS sport, but I watch golf and I know golf, and I'm telling you, Jon Rahm doesn't get enough credit for his putting. This is the type of course where he could perform. He could do very, very well at. He has in the past with 3 top 10s in a row. I look down here, a couple of other greenies, and Justin Thomas plays fairly well here, but not stellar. Rory has been good in the past, but Rory's form right now really, really messes me up. Could Augusta be what cures him and gets him back on track, or could he bring his bad form, his mediocre form, into Augusta and really end up down in here into the 25 to 40 range and not pay off his salary? Xander Schauffele, another kid that concerns me. Cantlay recently concerns me. Morikawa concerns me. Jordan Spieth does not. I'm not going to be overweight Jordan Spieth. With all the winning he's done lately, he's going to be chalk. And golf is one of those sports like baseball where you get paid when you fade the chalk. Is Jordan Spieth the right play this week? Yes. Probably so. But is he the play I'm going to make? No. Why? I'll have a little bit of exposure to him, but I'm not going to be overweight the field on him because if he does well, great. I'm fighting with all those other people that are fish in the sea that see that he's done well lately and play him. And while they're going to make the correct decision, it's going to be harder for me to win a tournament. Not to do well in a tournament or place in it, but to win a tournament. I need Jordan to fail because when he fails, he's going to take everybody with him and then open up the road for me. That's just the leverage game. That's DFS in a nutshell. If you're not playing tournaments DFS that way, you're doing them wrong. It's that simple. Brooks Koepka coming back off of knee surgery is interesting. Another Lee Westwood has a lot of solid history here. He's played well recently. Other guys down here, Matsuyama's interesting. Dude can't putt. I don't trust him on this course. He's been great with shot making. I don't trust that he can get deep enough into the tournament to do any damage. And then there's some, other guys here and there that have done pretty well. I really find Casey interesting. Been a little sketchy in the past, been a little sketchy recently, had a good middle run. Everybody loves him. I might fade him this week largely as well. Down here, Justin Rose is another interesting. Justin Rose is probably under-owned this week. That is 7% is probably too low for him. I might have to go back and adjust some numbers there. Matt Kuchar typically does well here. 7%, probably too low for him who has made the cut. Plus, I've got recency bias attached to Matt Kuchar because a couple of years back, Matt Kuchar hit that hole-in-one on 16 coming down the stretch on Sunday, and it made me jump up some 40 or 50 places in the leaderboard, turned a mediocre break-even day into a day where I think I turned about $10 into $150. And so, me loves some Matt Kuchar at Augusta, always and forever. If he's relevant, if he's playing fairly well, I'll probably be on the guy just because I can't say no to my boy. And he ain't even my boy. He don't tip his caddies worth shit. But that said, it is what it is. Recent form also matters in a lot of cases because you want somebody who's playing well rolling into a big major like this. And you can look in these for all of the green, go right across the line, see who's done well lately, who hasn't, who's been making a lot of cuts, etc. The statistics, I'm not as concerned about. You can really dig into those if you want to, but all I care about is my cheat sheets. I come down to my cheat sheets and I've got up norths here, and I've got tacos. Well, I used to have tacos. I guess I've only got Josh to list. That's fine. Josh is great. Josh is a little game theory master. And his core tournament plays are listed right here. His cash plays, his 10K, his 5K, his 7K, or 9K, whatever it is. And all the way down here and then some punts and some whatever. I like looking at these, but this isn't what I'm necessarily going with. I like seeing who he's confident in. I like seeing who he likes the most. And then bang. I roll right on out of there. And if I'm looking at FanDuel and I play the Masters, I'll set up, let's say, 75 lineups, randomization, boom, like baseball and hockey, through the roof. Why? Because you don't know. You don't know how these guys are going to do. Nobody knows how these guys are going to do. So all I'm saying is give me the love with the randomization, and let's let luck play out over time. You can see I put a lot of frownies on some guys, and I put a lot of smileys on some guys. Who are the guys that I like? Well, I like a lot of them based on Josh's cheat sheet, but I don't like some. He likes Rory McIlroy. He thinks Rory's going to be boom or bust. I'm banking on the bust. I don't like Xander like he likes. I don't like Tony Finau this week. I'm throwing all of them dudes out of my projections as much as possible. I wouldn't mind a full fade on any of these guys that I've slapped these frowny faces. Hideki, Josh loves Hideki. Hideki can't putt. This is a course where you need to putt. Can he get hot and win a tournament? Sure. Can he throw darts and put them all inside 5 feet? Sure. Is he going to do that most times? No. You need to putt to win at Augusta. Matty Fitz is a play that I like that Josh didn't necessarily mention. He said he could like him at firm and fast greens and whatnot, could benefit Fitzy. Boom, I'll be on top of it. Bubba Watson is another one I'll be all over. Why? Past champions tend to do well here. You won here for a reason. But I'm not going nuts. 7% projected ownership. I'm only double in the field. I'm not going bonkers. Sergio Garcia, a little more than double the field. Sergio plays well here. So when I go down this list, I'm going to sort by where are we? I'm going to sort by points in a lot of cases. Well, salary, I guess, first. When I sort by salary, I'm coming down here to the very, very bottom at all the past champions and the old men. Larry Mize, Weir, VJ, Olafable. Note I pronounced that right, Olafable. Don't pronounce that Z. It's wrong. Sandy Lyle, Freddie Couples, Bernard Longer. I had Bernard over on DraftKings because you're going to need some salary relief. I've got Freddie Couples over. They tend to make cuts. They're young enough. They're competitive enough. But then I'm just killing everybody I don't like. I like Mackenzie Hughes. I like Bernd Weisberger. I like Sebastian Munoz. But other than that, I'm coming up and I love Dylan Fratelli for some reason. Billy Ho ain't bad. Danny Willett. Philly Mickelson, not a bad play at Augusta. Carlos Ortiz, all these guys down here on the cheaper end of the spectrum, fine. I'll sort by value, and I'll start smiley facing some of these guys at the top. Note, I'm not touching Jordan Spieth, and I'm capping his ass at half the field. I'll go to projected ownership, and I'm watching the chalk. Anyone over about 18 to 20% in golf is going to be a little too chalky for my taste. Now, I love Jon Rahm. I think the guy can putt. I think he's underrated. I think he's got better than a 20% chance to win this tournament. So I'm going overweight on him. Actually, look at that. I cut him in half on FanDuel. I went overweight on DraftKings, I'll tell you that. Justin Thomas, overweight. Bryson DeChambeau, overweight. I need to change that Rahm and get back overweight on Rahm because I just like him that much. Dustin Johnson, overweight. 15% on Dustin Johnson, best golfer in the world, is criminal. Dude can turn it on whenever he wants to. Rory, I'll gamble. I'll go underweight on Rory. Patty Reed, hated man, always a little bit underowned. I'll go overweight on him. I'm going to match the field with a minimum, and I'm going overweight as much as I can. Sergio Garcia, same bit, match the field, overweight. Then I just go up and down the list as much as I can with everybody that I like. I hit the old optimize button at the randomness that I like and let it eat. All I'm going to do now is go down here with the last couple of minutes I've got with you guys, and I'm going to start looking at exposure. I've got 35% on a lot of these guys. There's my core. There's my 4, 5, 6 player core. If these guys do well, I'm going to do well. If a couple of these guys in the same lineup smash, I'm going to have a good week. If they don't, I won't. That's MME, that's GPP, that is DFS in a nutshell. You've got to take some stands. If you don't take stands and you try and spread out too much, you ain't doing it right. I will have shots at these other guys as fill-in types of plays and whatnot. I'm not going to necessarily scan these lineups and look for certain things. I don't care. I'm just going to download my lineups and go. And that is just how easy golf can be for a guy like me that isn't an expert, that doesn't spend a lot of time researching the DFS aspect of it. If I started spending more time in it, I'd dig in deeper to the research station. I'd converse more with our coaches. I would take it a lot more seriously. But in this big nickel, I need to get damned lucky. I'll throw 75 lineups at it. I will have a core of players. I will mix and match and wind up everybody else. Throw them in the Yahtzee cup, shake it up, and roll it out. And if it does well, kudos to me. If it does bad, well, you get what you pay for in this video. Bottom line, if you're like me, I can teach you to play any sport, fundamentally sound, give you a competitive chance. I've proven it in baseball. I've proven it in football. NBA, I've done well. Based on our coaches, mostly in NBA, not my sport. Hockey is my sport. I've won 4 or 5 GPPs this year alone. I'm telling you right now, I know how to play the game. I may not know the specifics of PGA, but I know how to play the game. It's leverage, it's ownership, it's going up when everybody else goes down and going down when everybody else goes up, and hope you get the right mix. Because to beat 250,000 people, you're just not going to do it with 150 lineups most of the time. But if you do it enough, and your bankroll is big enough, you can get there. Take my word for it. Come inside dfsarmy.com. Use the coupon code DFSARMY. Come look me up, talk to me. I'll hook you up with all the experts in all the different sports. I can get you up to the level of beginner to intermediate to upper level intermediate, and then I know the guys to pass you off to if you want to keep growing. If you really love a sport and you want to dive deep, I got the guys. I know who you're looking for. You just have to come and ask me. Come on inside, look me up. I'm Chop It On. Peace out, homies. Have a great Masters. We'll talk to you on Monday.